I'm sorry.
So sorry.
All right. First time for everything.
Yeah, very first in how many years?
It was spawned by a question from a magnificent bastard that
Many
said,
questions.
Whiskey Tribe, whiskey takes a while to age. How do distilleries afford to keep the doors open while they're waiting on that whiskey to actually be turned into a product that they can sell?
And the answer was 2 ways typically.
Yeah.
Source,
Yep.
unaged spirits.
Yeah.
Unaged
And
spirits being things like vodka, gin, white rum.
what I've seen is a lot of whiskey distilleries, if they had to choose an unaged spirit that they're kind of interested in, it's the gins.
Yeah, you know why? There's a lot more flavor.
There's flavor, there's variations,
Yes,
there's variety.
yes, and you can come up with a custom blend. You can go
Right.
after the London Dry style or
Yeah.
the more botanical
I
style.
have no idea what he's
It
talking
doesn't
about.
matter, yeah.
Absolutely no idea what
Okay.
he's talking about. Well, we're going to learn a thing or two about gins because apparently this is a critical component to distilleries getting their feet under them. So, Crowded Barrel, we're coming out with a gin,
Yeah, we already got the label approved.
and it's called
The Apology.
Sorry It's Not Whiskey. The most practical reason why we have the Apology even getting bottled at all is all the magnificent bastards that want to come with a significant other and they don't necessarily like whiskey. So, in the bar at distilleries, you can only serve things that are your bottled product.
In Texas.
In Texas.
So we can only use alcohol
Right.
that we created
Or
and
bottled.
bottled.
Right.
I was thinking, instead of just, do one or the other,
Right.
source or
Right.
make a gin, what if we did both?
Yeah, we'll do all of it. What's the fastest, most practical way for us to go from zero to gin for the bar, for all the significant others that want cocktails and stuff?
We source it. Now, MGP makes, I think, 6 different gin recipes.
Okay.
And I had them send us some samples.
Let me ask you this. I don't
Yes.
know. We haven't talked about this.
Yeah.
We're actually recording the conversation.
This is the
real
first time
time.
this has ever happened, yeah.
So we've already done some MGP bourbons.
Right?
Are we doing MGP gin just out of sheer convenience, or have we quality
No,
tested? Tasted?
Well, we're about to quality test. But they do something no one else is willing to do without a lot of work.
Okay.
Which is they have 6 recipes.
Okay.
We are able to blend those 6 recipes together however we want. They will keep that on file and send us totes of that recipe anytime we need them.
Ah, so convenience is the answer.
Convenience,
Okay.
and we can customize our preferred. So it's not just here's an MGP gin.
So there's a
it's like here's our recipe from MGP.
Our proprietary blend.
Yeah. This is, yet again, yes.
So there, you said there's half a dozen.
And I think this is it. Custom choices created for evolving tastes. Use any single premium gin as your own,
Okay.
or combine them in any formula that you want.
I already get in there and smell that.
Oh, I like it already.
Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're still gonna create our own gin.
Yes, we're still creating our own gin.
Okay.
But this is for like scale up.
This
going.
is just get it in here so people
Yeah.
can be tasting.
Okay, so how do you? Oh, this is really cool, but how do you get it out? Okay,
Okay. 120 proof.
it's a pain in the butt, but it's well packaged.
Heritage 300 distilled cucumber gin. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Kind of like that idea. Okay, Heritage 100.
Right, yeah.
Right there. So the Heritage 100 is juniper with a background of coriander and earthy. Heritage 200, crispy floral orange peel, evergreen and spice.
Okay.
300,
Right.
earthy, like a walk through the forest, heavy juniper.
Sure.
Orange gin.
Right.
Lemon lime. Oh, that was cucumber. Orange gin, lemon lime
Yeah.
gin, citrus berry gin,
Yeah.
and cucumber gin.
So all of these flavors, these sound very on point from what I know about
Yeah.
gins. These are going to be the very citrus, light, bright, fresh flavors. Botanical stuff is involved. Let's do this, right? How gin even comes into being. How
so
is gin made?
There's 3 main ways, and really it's 2, but there's variations on how you do it. There's distilled gin and compound gin. That's the simple version. Distilled gin is when the botanicals are all in the thing that you're distilling.
Right.
You distill it and capture the finished product on the other side.
Right.
But you have your recipe of botanicals and everything in here. To do it in the thing that you're heating and distilling and end up with a final product with your recipe, there's several ways to do it. You can either do what's called the Gin Botanical Basket.
Okay.
This is for our baby still where we do test run stuff.
Okay.
But you just take this thing.
Now, which baby? Daniel, they're all babies.
No, this is the baby.
Right.
You take this thing and see that screen?
The infant still.
Hannah?
Oh yeah, it's
You fill it with
it's
your
like
botanicals.
like a window screen, a really tight window screen.
Yeah. You fill it with your botanicals, and then you run it in line with the still. So as the spirit goes through,
So it's heating up. It's
yeah,
evaporating.
it's evaporating through the botanical basket.
Okay, and it hasn't reached the condenser yet because that's when it turns into a droplet and comes back out. So it's going up and through the botanicals. What kinds of botanicals are typically being put inside of a still? Like what?
I mean, it has to be juniper or it's not gin.
So juniper goes in here.
Right.
Okay.
Or and it could be citrus things. It could be herbs. It could be root.
The requirement of gin is that juniper is involved.
Right. Other than that, it's literally whatever the hell you want to put in there.
Really, you could do
anything that's herbal.
Wait.
Or that
No. Again.
Well,
Does it have to be herbal?
What? No.
Can I put Cheetos in the?
If you wanted to, yes.
Okay.
Now, however, actually, you couldn't sell that because you have to buy it as a bulk product, and technically, you can't buy Cheetos as a bulk product. It's already over-the-counter retail.
Costco.
That didn't count.
Something fell off the truck at Costco.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, I will tell you, this is the little plate we use for the larger still, the 26-gallon one.
Right.
Same thing, where in one of those windows, you fill it with your botanicals, and you put this plate above it to hold the botanicals from falling through to the next level.
Okay, so instead of like a container,
we turn that into a container.
Inside the column.
Yeah. Now, there's another way to make gin.
Right.
That same way.
Okay.
You fill all your botanicals into this is way too big as a grain bag.
Right.
But you fill them all into a bag, cinch it, drop it into the actual tank.
So the actual bottom base.
Right.
Where usually
like a tea bag. It soaks, and as it heats up, it's soaking in all the botanicals, and then it distills out the other end.
Okay, so the only difference is whether or not the botanicals and stuff are just down in the main pot
or up in the column.
Up in the column.
Or somewhere in the column process.
Somewhere in the column.
Now, that's all distilled gin. All those versions are distilled gin.
That's distilled gin.
There's another way.
Okay.
Compound gin.
Okay.
Compound gin is what we were trying out. It's sort of considered to be like the second best, but it's where you soak your botanicals in vodka and then strain it off. Basically, it's like you're making tea. You just take your botanicals, you add them to a tank, you let it soak until it's ready, you siphon it off, and you're done.
Okay.
That's called compound gin.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well,
because you're just letting it soak in vodka.
Yeah.
And then
the flavors are dramatic. That's the thing, is they're heavy.
Okay.
They tend to be really heavy.
All right.
Because it's like soaking a tea bag, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's another way, which is start with a compound, and then if it ends up too heavy, redistill it again.
You see like cucumber and orange and berry and stuff like that. And gin, are they literally naming the things that they used in the infusion process?
They'll tell you. Yeah, sometimes they'll say it on the bottle.
Because I know as much where sometimes they'll use like orange peels and lemon peels and actual cucumbers and that kind of stuff. And whiskey, it's just grain, and then you'll have notes that are like those various
These
types
are actual
of fruits
things.
and flowers and earth and
this is spirit rectification. It's the actual things.
This is the actual fruits and herbs and stuff in the process.
Yes.
Okay.
So here's the hard part about making gin. You got to figure out your recipe.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at compound gin.
Yeah.
Because here's the problem with distilled gin.
Yeah.
You got to get your recipe right.
Sure.
Then you got to distill it. And what if it's wrong? You don't find out until after it's done.
Right.
And then what? You just wasted a lot of botanicals and a lot of spirit.
Yeah, but at least you didn't waste years like in whiskey.
That's true. So there's still that, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you do compound, you can figure out whether you like it right away, right? You can take it out when it's ready.
Yeah.
And you can but still you're mixing them all together.
Okay.
And that's still iffy.
Sure.
What I wanted to do was compound each botanical individually until I feel like that botanical had the best impact, pull it, and then blend the botanicals together.
Okay.
Until I get my recipe right. But we can do that with these. These are what I wanted to do, which is take finished products and then mix them together. Okay, I'm gonna just pour them into the glassware now. This is the cucumber.
Very high proof here. 60%, I think, on most of these.
Yeah, all these. So here's the thing. We're not gonna get this on the first try blending, but we can try sampling them and see. And then I think we should do is eventually narrow these down to 3 things that the Patreon votes on. But right now, we're just seeing what they taste like. Okay, I started with this one.
Yeah.
This is the one that they said, juniper and a coriander. Traditional, earthy. And then the 200 is more floral. That one's a little more floral and orange. An evergreen. And then 300, way more forest juniper.
Forest juniper?
Yeah, like earthy juniper berry. Oh, and then we're into orange gin. Oh, whew, that is very orange. And then lemon lime. Oh, that's like 7-Up. You add carbonation to that, you're just drinking Sprite or something.
But, I don't know, man. If we're looking for non-whiskey drinker friendly tasting room fruity Cocktails.
Typically, you don't want fruity because you want to add fruit to the cocktail.
But friendly cocktail.
Yes, but I'm just saying, you want fruit. You add fruit to a cocktail. You want this to be a good, balanced palate on which you can do almost anything to it, and it can handle it. I've already got a blending plan.
In the top 3 of all of these, what did you like by themselves? Or my number 1 favorite. You just put your finger in the air, and we're gonna drop it down. On the 1, 2, 3. Boom.
Me too. The cucumber.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Number 2. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 3.
And
Ready?
number 3, if I was gonna blend it by, I'm thinking.
Right.
And number 3 is 1, 2, 3.
Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
Ah, it's amazing. That's the first time it's ever happened.
That is funny.
Here's what I want to do.
So we chose.
I want to see what happens with a
rather
classic gin,
traditional. Yep.
and then cucumber gin, and then the citrus berry gin.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is a 3-2-1 ratio, 3-part original gin.
So in order of what we like the best.
No. I'm going to start with this as a base because I liked this because it's a classic base.
See, why didn't you start with? Or we'll do that version, and then we'll also do a version
in order of our favorite.
3 parts number 1, 2 parts number 2, 1 part number 2.
Okay, hang on. Let me get a measuring thing. There's a difference between what's good in order of favorite and what creates a good blend, which is why I changed my proportions.
Fine.
But we'll find out.
But let's do the Rex blend, where we just do it in order of favorite individuals to proportionality in the blend.
1, 2. Okay, this is the Rex one. So in mine, this is going to be 2 parts.
Right. Let's do this. Let's do a blind tasting of the 2.
Okay.
We'll do a marking on mine. Mix these up.
Do.
Looking. Okay.
Okay.
We'll do the blind tasting.
Oh, it smells good already.
Oh, it's lovely. They're both a little different.
Mm-hmm. This one's a little bit sweeter, but this one's fruitier.
This one I would say it has more character with the fruit. So between the 2,
I like them both.
Yeah, they're really close.
On the nose, I like this one best.
Okay.
That one's got more body. This one's a much this is more Bombay Sapphire, and that's more like Hendrix. Both of these will work perfectly in gin and tonics. They'll work in a martini. They'll work across the board. Me too.
Yeah.
All right. What is
has
that?
Has a little bit more of that character.
This one has no mark that I can see.
This one had a mark. It's mine.
This one turned out sweeter because this Heritage 100 was the sweeter gin.
Win all of the gins.
Feel free. So what we just did was blend a gin from individual distilled gins.
Yeah.
You know what you and I could do? We could create our own recipe.
Oh, that smells amazing.
You want to create your own recipe?
Let's create the hell out of a recipe.
All right.
This is cool. Look at this box of stuff.
Box of herbs.
Gin Botanicals?
Yeah, most botanicals in general. You can use them to make tea or whatever.
Oh.
So this is angelica root. I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
Smell that. Angelica root. Of course, you got to have juniper. Coriander. Ginger. Star anise. Orange peel. Chamomile. Elderflowers.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a compound gin. I also got some vodka. You ready?
I feel like I'm cheating on whiskey a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm cheating on my whiskey mistress.
Start with juniper, because that's got to go in there.
Okay.
And if you want, we can just kind of, you can mash these a little bit. But we'll just leave them as is. We'll just soak them. So I'm going to start with...
Do we need to measure?
No, I'm going to eyeball it all.
Well, at least show the camera so we can accurately eyeball in the future.
So that's my gin.
Oh, I just love the smell of juniper.
Yours, you make yours. I'm making mine. I have no idea what the proportions or anything that we're doing here, but it's fun.
I tried to make it happen.
No, that's what makes it fun.
Just a little, tiny little sprinkling of chamomile.
I want some elderflower.
Coriander's a really light smell.
Mm-hmm. What is this? Angelica root.
Yeah, I'm not going to put that in there. I'm not excited enough about it. I'm not excited enough about it. Now the orange.
Wait. Oh, that's gonna save everything.
Oh, okay. Then.
Oh, I'm gonna like this one, I think.
No, elderflowers give it body and character. I got to do the elderflower.
Okay.
All right. How much do I need to actually?
I don't know because we've been talking about doing it with some of our friends, and they know gin, and they're gonna hassle me big time for this. I'm doing all the things they told me not to do, but it's more fun this way.
I feel like I should put in a lot more stuff.
No, we'll see.
Maybe I just put in less of that.
No, let's fill it because we'll see what the difference is.
Okay.
Less botanicals to more vodka.
And that is.
I think we'll know whose is whose.
Oh, yeah. Don't need to label this.
And I think tomorrow morning's gonna be too long. We'll find out.
Okay. Should we fast forward?
Sure.
And we're back. It's been about 20 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
20 hours.
By the way, that's way too long to steep. Way too long to steep the botanicals I had.
So how long do you usually...
But whatever.
So,
it could be anywhere from 2 to 10 hours. I brought a carbon filter setup.
Okay. So this is supposed to be clear spirit. Even mine is pretty yellow.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. I'm gonna just rotate. It is taking forever to drip out of this thing.
That looks...
Deb's gonna give me a mesh strainer because this is gonna take too long. All right, This is gonna be tinted and colored because we're not truly filtering it out.
So as he does this, we're going to remind the people what we started with was vodka. In with these botanicals, we can't help but make things that at least look like whiskey.
That's true. That's how we roll. All right, I got a glass over here.
This is 100 proof vodka. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
It's cloudy.
Oh, it's so... All right, pour it in. Yours is definitely lighter. This is yours.
Oh, okay. You know what mine smells like? Gin!
Does it?
What does yours smell like?
Oh, yeah, that's not surprising. It does smell like gin. Mine smells like an herbal tea remedy.
Yours smells like... Yours smells like an old lady that turned violent.
Because the alcohol content.
It's old lady
I
smells.
think we should start with yours because mine's going to overwhelm the palate.
Right.
You ready? Wow, that's still dramatic.
Is it?
Oh, man, that was way too long. I don't even want to think about what mine tastes like. Oh, it's terrible. We should just blend these.
It's so... The juniper explodes, and then you're left with this raw, hot, aggressive bitter that goes for days. It's just bitter. It's the taste of bitter.
We should have scienced this a little more. This is mine. You ready?
All right.
This is like, you know what this is?
It's eating a bowl of orange peel potpourri.
No.
It's eating a bowl of orange peel potpourri.
It's in the same family as a digestive.
So
this is one of them.
This is you fill this bugger with orange peels, dehydrate the orange peels.
Hey John,
then eat the orange peels.
You want to test some gin? All right.
All right. So that's
mine. Rex's blend.
Right.
Of compound botanical soak for 20
Smells
hours.
Like gin.
Smells like ginny oranges.
And I use very, very little oranges.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, John?
Hold on. We just set the bar. We'll set the bar.
Welcome to mine, John. Don't smell it first. Just drink it.
You need a healthy swig.
Yeah. Gotta really own that shit. How you doing, John? You okay? Hey, Deb! So you want to try a couple of gins? Rex made one. It's a compound gin. It's soaked for 20 hours. This is Rex's version.
That looks hideous.
What are you talking about? It's beautiful.
I don't know.
It's like honey. It looks like honey, Deb.
You really want me to drink this?
Yes, it's gin.
It's gin.
It's
compound
vodka
gin.
Put in botanicals, turned into gin. It's compound gin.
You all right there?
Not bad. Pretty good.
That was Rex's.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Daniel's coming into the rescue. To get the full effect, you got to get a healthy sip in there, like almost a swig. There's so much nuance.
Ah!
God.
Come on, it's not that bad. You're overplaying it.
I can't feel my tongue.
We bop and